Welcome everybody. Hope you are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. Alhamdulillah, I am also fine. Today is Saturday, 3rd October 2020. Today I am going to discuss some transformation sentences, and especially I will emphasize on how to change complex sentence to simple sentence. Dear students, there are different kinds of changing or transformation sentences. They are affirmative to negative, assertive to interrogative, assertive to imperative, assertive to exclamatory, simple to complex, complex to simple, positive to comparative, etc. etc. Today I will discuss on how to change complex sentences into simple sentences. So before starting our changing, we should have know what is simple sentence and what is complex sentence. You have clear ideas about simple and complex sentences, because otherwise you will not able to change them. Okay, a simple sentence is one that contains only one subject and one finite verb expressed or understood. For example, he goes to school every day. This is an example of simple sentence because here he is subject and goes is verb. So here there is only one subject and one finite verb. So it is an example of simple sentence. Complex sentence. A complex sentence is one that contains one principal clause and one or more subordinate clause or clauses. For example, though he is poor, he is honest. Here there are two clauses. One is though he is poor and another one is he is honest. So there are two clauses and two subjects and two finite verb. Here he is subject, he is the verb. In the second clause, he is subject, is verb. So here there are two verbs and two subject, and the two clauses are connected with though, subordinating conjunction. So it is an example of complex sentence. I think you can now understand about what is simple sentence and what is complex sentence. Let's start to change complex sentence to simple sentence. I will discuss the matter one by one according to rule. Rule 1. A. Though he was weak, he went to school. If there is though in and complex sentence and you want to turn them into simple sentence, use in spite, uh, uh, in spite of or despite instead of though, and use being instead of was. So the answer will be despite or in spite of he is being weak, he went to school. Actually, you will write in spite of or despite instead of though, then write the possessive form of subject. Here he is subject and his possessive form is his, and write being instead of was, because was is be verb and we cannot use ing with was, so use be instead of was and ing with it. So the answer will be despite or in spite of his being weak, he went to school. You can write this in another way. You write the noun form of weakness, So the answer will be despite or in spite of his weakness, he went to school. Both the answers are correct. Number B. Though he had qualifications, he did not get a job. If there is though and have, had, or has, use the following rule. Write despite or in spite of though, then possessive form of subject instead of have, had, or had, write having, then the rest of the sentences. So the answer will be despite or in spite of his having qualifications, he did not get a job. I repeat it. Use despite or in spite of instead of though, and write down the possessive form of the subject. Here he is subject and his possessive form is his, then having for had, and the rest of the sentences. So the answer is despite or in spite of his having qualifications, he did not get a job. Number C. Though he ran fast, he missed the train. If you found though the subject, then main verb or principal verb, you will turn the sentence right like this. Right, despite or in spite of, instead of though, then possessive form subject. Here the possessive form of he is his, then run is principal verb, ran is principal verb, use ing after it, so it will be running, then rest of the sentence. So the answer is despite or in spite of his running fast, he missed the train. Rule 2. The man who sells small things earns a little. Here we learn how to transform uh, complex sentence to simple sentence about the relative pronoun who, which, or that. Here, the man who sells small things earn a little. Here, there is who, it is relative pronoun. Relative pronoun are those pronoun who is used after noun and make a relationship with other words of sentences. So in order to transform or changing complex sentence to simple sentence, and where there is who, and main verb, write omit who and use ing with the main verb. Then it will be the man selling small things earns a lot. Number B, the man who is sleeping is at the station is a porter. If you find subject, then relative pronoun, then auxiliary verb, then main verb, you just omit who and is and write down the rest of the sentences. So the answer will be the man sleeping at the station is a porter. Number C, he rented a flat which or that belonged to a rich man. Here, his subject, rent is principal verb, flat is object, then which or that are relative pronoun. If you get such type of structure in a complex sentence, you just omit which or that and write the rest of the sentences. So the answer will be he rented a flat belong, or you use ing after main verb or with main verb. So he rented a flat belonging to a rich man. D. The house which so that was demolished was very old. Here the house is subject, we so that are relative pronoun, and demolished is the past participle form of verb. If you find such type of structure in a complex sentence, you just omit which, that, and be verb. Then the answer will be the house demolished was very old. That's all for relative pronoun. Now rule 3. Sorry, there is another example. We took an ambulance which or that was parked on the road. If you get such type of structure like subject, then principal verb, then object, then relative pronoun, then past participle of verb, right? Just omit relative pronoun and be verb. Then the answer will be we took an ambulance parked on the road. F. The man who is rich can help the poor. If there is subject, then who, then adjective, you just omit who and rearrange the sentences to make it clear, make the sense clear. Then the answer will be the rich man, a rich man can help the poor. G. I helped a woman who was helpless. Here there is who, so omit who and rearrange the sentences. Just uh, put helpless before a. So it will be I help a helpless woman. That's all for relative pronouns. Now another rule, rule 3. Number A. Since the boy worked hard, he shone in life. If there is since or as or when in a complex sentence and the subject of the two clauses are the same and there is principal verb or main verb in the both clauses, you just omit since, then use ing with the verb. So the answer will be working hard, right? The boy instead of he, because the boy and he are the same person and the rest of the sentence. So the answer will be working hard, the boy shone in life. I repeat it. If you get or if there is since in a complex sentence and the subjects, the both clauses are the same and there are main verb in both of the clauses, then omit since at first, then use ing with the main verb, then the rest part of the subordinate clause and use the subject instead of pronoun. Okay, then the answer will be working hard, the boy shone in life. Number B. When he see me, he cried out. Actually it will be when he saw me, he cried out. So there is when and the subject are same and there are main verb in the both clauses. So omit when and use ing with the main verb. So the answer will be seeing me, he cried out. Number 4. Since the water was very cold, I could not drink it. Here there is since, and the subject of the uh, subordinate clause is water, and I is the principal clause. The subject are different, and there is be verb in the subordinate clause. And if you find such type of structure, you will just omit since first and write the subject of the subordinate clause, the water, then use with be verb. So the be verb of was is be verb. So use ing with be. So the answer will be the water being very cold, I could not drink it. Actually, if I repeat it, if you find since in a complete sentence and the subject of the both clauses are different, just omit since, then write the first subject, the water, then use ing with be verb, so being, then rest of the sentences. Number B, when the meeting was over, we went home. Here there is when, and the subject is meeting, and another one is we. The subjects are different, and there is be verb. So omit when, write the meeting, then instead of was, write be plus ing being. The meeting being over, we went home. Number 5, since the man was very old, he could not move. In this sentence, there is since, and the subject is the man, and he are same, and there is be or was. If you find such type of structure, the omit since first, write omit since and the subject first, then write be plus and being. So it will be being very old, write the man instead of he. So it will be being very old, the man could not move. Number B, since he was small, he could not walk. Here there is since and the subject are same, and there is be verb. So the answer will be being small, he could not work hard. Number 6, when it was evening, I went out. If there is when and in and it indicates short time, use at instead of when and omit subject and be verb. So the answer will be at evening I went out. Number B, when it is spring, the cuckoo sings. In case of when and if when indicates a season, use in instead of when and omit subject and auxiliary verb. So the answer will be in spring the cuckoo sings. Number C, when he was 4, he left his village. If there is when in a complex sentence and it indicates number, then write at the time of instead of when and omit subject and be verb. So the answer will be, uh, sorry, you write not at the time, at the age of. Use at the age of instead of when and omit subject and be verb. So answer will be at the age of 4 he left his village. Number D, when they were playing, it began to rain. If there is when in a complete sentence and it indicates past continuous things or the thing what was happening at the past time, use at the time of instead of when, then omit subject and be verb and the rest of the sentence. So the answer will be, at the time of playing, it began to rain. I think I'm able to complete, able to teach you how to use, how to change complete sentence where there is when, to make it simple one. Now, rule 7. I know what his name is. If there is what in a complete sentence, just uh, omit what and rearrange the sentences. So the answer will be, I know his name. Number B, I know what his address is. This is like the previous one, so omit he and his. So the answer will be, I know his address. Number 8. A, if you do not work hard, you will not prosper in life. In case of if there is, if the coordinating if the subordinate clause is in negative form, use without instead of if and ing with the main verb. So the answer will be, and the right rest of the sentences. I repeat it. If there is and the um, subordinate clause is in the negative form, use without instead of it, if, and verb plus ing. So the answer will be, without working hard, you will not prosper in life. Number B, if you maintain discipline, you can succeed in life. This is another type of complex sentence. Here there is if and the uh, subordinate conjunction is in affirmative form. If you find such type of complex sentence, use by instead of if and verb plus ing. So the answer will be, by maintaining discipline, you can succeed in life. Number rule 9. A, he worked hard so that he could pursue life. Here, so that is used as a conjunction. If you find so that in a complex sentence and you are asked to make it simple, use to instead of so that, and omit subject and could. So the answer will be, he worked hard to prosper in life. Number B, I read more so that I can make a good result. This is very simple. Use to instead of to and omit I and can. So the answer will be, I read more to make a good result. Rule 10. A, he is so weak that he cannot walk. If you find so dash that in a complex sentence, use to instead of so and to instead of that, and omit subject and auxiliary verb and not. So the answer will be, he is too weak to walk. He is too weak to walk. Number B, the water was so salty that we could not drink it. It is also very simple. Use to instead of so and to instead of that, and omit we, could, and not. The answer will be, the water was too salty to drink. Those who were not able to transfer them before, now I think we'll be able to write the answer correctly. Rule 11. A, it is certain that he will come. If there is certain, sure, or sudden in a complete sentence, use certainly, suddenly, or surely instead of certain, sure, or sudden. So the answer will be, certainly he will come. Omit it, is, and that. Number B, it is sure that he has done it. So you use surely and omit it, is, and that. Surely, the answer is surely he has done it. Dear students, that's all for complex to simple. Now individual work. You will find you will I will give you 5 sentences to make them complex to simple. Number 1, though they played well, they could not win the game. Number 2, when it was raining, he woke up. Number 3, since the boy spoke the truth, he was rewarded. Number 4, he learns English so that he can get a good job. Number 5, he called the man who was walking along the street. Okay, think over the matter and write the answer in your exercise book. Okay, now match your answer with me. The answer of the first one is, despite or in spite of their playing well, they could not win the game. Number 2, at the time of raining, he woke up. Number 3, because of speaking the truth, the boy was rewarded. Number 4, he learns English to get a good job. Number 5, he called the man walking along the street. Now, homework. Transform the following complex sentences into simple. 1, they bought a house that was costly. As he saw the tiger, he ran away in fear. 3, I know the man who was driving the car. Number 4, if you take exercise regularly, you can be healthy. Number 5, he is so weak that he cannot speak a single word. He will do them at home and if possible show me in my class in the next time. Okay, that's all for today. We'll meet once again in the next week. Till then, be safe and sound. Allah Hafiz.